This just in. How exactly do you survive an economic apocalypse when every major corporation on Earth decides to fire their employees and replace them with robots at the exact same time? According to a terrifyingly bleak analysis by Tom Hestos in the Daily Maverick, the global economy is currently racing toward total structural collapse. He outlines a self-reinforcing cycle called the Great Doom Loop, where companies replace humans with artificial intelligence. The newly unemployed lose their purchasing power, consumer demand drops, and panicked businesses are forced to cut even more human jobs just to survive the shrinking market. Everyone is panicking that the robots are officially taking over the cognitive workforce. But before you retreat to an underground bunker and wait for the economic collapse, we need to look at the absurdity of this corporate suicide pact and why massive advertising agencies firing all their human talent is actually the greatest strategic opening your small business has ever had. But to start, let's ask, why are the corporate giants mass firing their employees? Well, it's because a robot does not ask for a performance review or a holiday bonus. In a single week in February, the terrifying outline of an economic transformation became completely unmistakable. The massive UK advertising group WPP proudly announced £500 million in cost cuts, actively replacing their agency teams with AI platforms. In the United States, Omnicom revealed a staggering $1 billion in labor savings, completely eliminating 4,000 roles. Meanwhile, a Swiss sportswear brand in South Korea opened a robot-operated factory where a mere 32 automated arms completely replaced a 200-step human manufacturing process. The corporate giants are gleefully eliminating both manual and cognitive labor at the exact same time. But in their rush to appease shareholders, they are completely ignoring the catastrophic trap they are building for themselves. To understand how this disastrous cycle actually works, look at this breakdown. It reveals the absolute stupidity of the doom loop, or the most efficient economic suicide pact in history. Artificial intelligence displaces workers much faster than new roles can possibly emerge. Because human beings need money to buy things, and robots do not buy sneakers or hire marketing agencies, those displaced workers lose their purchasing power. Consumer demand heavily erodes. Businesses panic over falling profits, so they cut costs even further, which requires more aggressive automation. Capital heavily contracts in AI-driven firms, completely suppressing global consumption. Hestos points out that there are 5 distinct forces accelerating this nightmare, ranging from language models automating cognitive work to driverless trucks eliminating entire sectors of the supply chain. But this slow erosion of the economy is not happening gradually. It's happening overnight. Which brings us to how the ketchup effect is destroying the economy. Have you ever tried to get ketchup out of an old glass, all gold tomato sauce bottle? You smack the bottom, you shake it, and absolutely nothing happens. Then, suddenly, half the bottle violently empties into your plate all at once, completely ruining your meal. One of the most terrifying forces accelerating the doom loop is what Hestos calls this exact ketchup effect. For the last few years, corporate executives have been staring at artificial intelligence like that stubborn glass bottle. They tapped it gently with small pilot programs and formed exploratory committees, but nobody wanted to be the first one to completely upend their business model. And nothing came out of the bottle. And then the seal broke. One giant agency proves they can save $1 billion by firing 4,000 people to use a chatbot, and every other CEO completely panics. They realize they are falling behind, so they all smash the bottom of the bottle at the exact same time to appease their shareholders. Suddenly, a massive, messy wave of sector-wide layoffs splatters all over the global economy at once. The advertising sector is currently drowning in that exact splatter. The massive corporate agencies are restructuring simultaneously, completely hollowing out their intellectual capital to save a few dollars in the short term. But when the giants strip away the actual human talent, they leave a massive, highly profitable void right in the middle of the market. And here's why your humanity is your ultimate price tag. If the giant corporations are replacing all their experts with cheap chatbots, the value of actual human expertise is about to skyrocket. The doom loop forces massive companies to race to the bottom. They are going to pump out an endless sea of cheap, automated, generic corporate slop because it costs them almost nothing to produce. But your premium clients do not actually want generic slop. They want high-level strategy. They want deep human empathy. And they want someone they can actually trust with their business. However, if your marketing copy sounds exactly like the cheap, automated garbage that the big agencies are producing, you will be swept away in the doom loop along with them. You absolutely cannot compete on price with a machine. You must compete on trust. You must strip the generic corporate jargon out of your funnels immediately so your clients can actually see the human being behind the screen. Position my 5-minute marketing fix as your urgent weapon to survive this transition. It helps you identify the exact spots where your messaging sounds like a hallucinating chatbot, so you can replace it with the undeniably human clarity your clients are willing to pay for. Stop losing sales. You can download the fix for free in the description below, or you can go to strategicmarketingtribe.com/fix. But what about you? If your specific industry entered a massive AI doom loop tomorrow, what is the very first overly complicated task you would happily let a robot take over? I'll go first. I would gladly let an AI handle every single password reset for the rest of eternity. Okay, your turn. What task are you giving to the machine? Let me know in the comments. I'm Vicky Sidler from the Strategic Marketing Tribe, and I post helpful news updates for small businesses every day.